Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
So I had this very cool experience of recent photo shoot to do some new images for my site and branding and social media and stuff you'll see popping up all over the interwebs. And, as I look at the photos and I was getting ready for the shoot, there's kind of like a couple things that I got, a couple different tops and that kind of thing, but it's a beautiful thing to start to embrace all sides of you. Maybe that's what we'll call this. Embrace all of you. Embrace all of you. And so for me, and I just did a short post about this on Facebook this morning, on my personal Facebook page, it's like I had defined myself always as a certain way. Tough girl, kind of in your face, a little intense. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, you might be like, yeah, that's kind of like you. Like to swear and a little like strong, a little bit more. People might even say like just more of that masculine kind of energy. I still think there's a feminine way to do that, but kind of bold. And that is a big piece of who I am. Like truly it is. This is not an act. This is not like me trying to pretend. Like this is who I am. And I'll tell you what, sister, kind of sidebar to this. If you've not truly embraced who you are yet and you are holding back who you are, it is time to stop that shit because who you are is absolutely beautiful and amazing. And there's nobody like you. And when we think that we got to hold ourselves back because we're too much for people or not enough or, you dim your light to somehow make others shine brighter, it's just that shit needs to go. So back to the topic here today. But yeah, like I have always defined myself in those terms. And it's only been the last, I'd say maybe year or two, that I've started to embrace a lot more of my femininity. It's not even something like, I've never considered myself to be a girly girl. Like, it's like, I'm the girl that the guys want to hang with, that, here's the thing too. So I grew up with two older brothers. And two older brothers, and I've always kind of been around guys. In my family, there's like very few girl cousins, like at all, and have always kind of been that way. Of course, I've always had like female friends, but I've also had like guy friends too, and played sports, and so like all the kind of like girly stuff, I guess, has never really been a piece of me, and that's fine. Like that's what I want. That's who I am, who I was. But I find myself in the last year just embracing more of that stuff, right? Like I get my lashes done, and I've always kind of like spent money invested in my hair, but just even more kind of like, you know what? I want to actually wear more makeup, and I want to get more clothes that are more like feminine. And, I went shopping with my husband maybe a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, because it was on a date night, and we had a little bit of time before dinner. I was like, I just want to pick up a couple things at one of my favorite stores. And so went in there, and I look at this top, and it's red, and it's kind of like, it's like a little bit of like a wrap shirt. Like, it's really kind of cool, very funky. It's got like flowers on it, like just kind of soft floral pattern on it. And it's got, I don't want to say, it's not like a tank, but it's not like a full on it's almost like a cap sleeve, but they're frilly. And I try it on, and it fits really well. It looks really good on me, but I grabbed it to try it on because it would be nothing like I would normally get. I would get like, I might get a tank top kind of thing, or I don't know, a shirt that's a little bit more form-fitting. Like I like that. That kind of stuff just fits my body well, and I feel comfortable in it. It looks good on me, shows off my body, and so I grabbed that, and I tried on a bunch of things, and I got, I think, maybe like 3 tops that night. And but I remember trying the red one. My husband's like, "Oh, I love that on you." I'm like, "Me too." And it was a very kind of like different look. You'll see with some of the images, the red top that I'm referring to, it's not what I would normally do, and that's exactly why I did it. because I really want to embrace more of that side of me, you know? And the interesting piece of that is the more that I learn who I am, the more that I learn to love who I am, the more of that comes out. And the most interesting and fascinating piece of this is this, sister, is that when I'm embracing all sides of me and not, let's just say, maybe the more dominant one, the easier one to go to, there's an alignment that I feel that I've never felt before inside of me. That it really is, what is the word? An acceptance. Acceptance isn't even the right word. It is, and I almost want to use the word too, like completion, because that's not it, because you're never fucking complete as human beings. You're always evolving and changing, right? Maybe that's it. It's evolving. It's an evolution. It's an evolution of becoming who I am and really who I want to be. And yeah, I want to have the more of that feminine piece of me come out, but on the way that I define it, right? See, the part of me too that always kind of suppressed that piece, which I know was always there, but it's like, was because I defined and saw femininity as like weak, not powerful, submissive, you know, nothing that like I really wanted to move towards at all. And so the way that I define femininity now is the way that it's me, right? Like, yes, girly, and, you know, I use the word soft, and I almost kind of want to vomit in my mouth. I'm like, soft. No, I'm like, hard in your face, boom, let's go, right? Like, that's my MO, and that's still me. It's still me. But there's a way for me to soften that, right? There's a way for me to kind of like, it's still the same me. I'm not changing who I am, but I'm just adjusting the volume, right? I'm turning down that dial a little bit, and I'm turning up the dial of like sexy, softer Karen a little bit more. And what a beautiful thing that is to embrace all these sides, because I don't care if you say that women are complex. I mean, I think human beings are very complex, right? In some terms, and it's like, we don't have to define ourselves as being just this one person, you know? Give you an example too. Like, I love seeing powerful men that I know with their children, right? And to see that that softness, like that gentleness of a powerful man, and seeing the love with his children, right? I think one of the things that a lot of women actually find very attractive in men is seeing them with kids, right? Like, you might go like, oh, that's because that's how we get to see them as like, you know, as potential fathers or potential mates, you know, like there's a primal thing, and there may be to that. But I think it's just more that you're seeing a different side, a different piece that's so beautiful, right? Sometimes there's actors that will go out and they'll do something different. Someone who's a comedic actor will do something that's more serious, or a serious actor, you'll see them being funny. And it's so cool to see that, because you're seeing them different than how they normally show themselves. So we'll have you consider that today, is that there's a way that you can show up in the world that can be different from how you are, but it's who you are also. It's just not the way that you typically show people. And here's the other side of this. It takes a lot of courage to do that, right? So think again back to that actor who is a comedic actor. There's a lot that have done this, right? Like, I can think of Robin Williams did this, and Jim Carrey did this, and I don't know, even what's the guy who's in The Office? Steve Carell has done this. Like, you know, you see them, like, it takes a lot of courage to do that, because even from just a business standpoint, it's like, well, that might shift their career. It's like, what do you mean? You're the funny guy. What are you trying to be we're trying to be the serious guy, the dramatic actor guy. And so you may be thinking that too for yourself, of just like, wait a second, I'm like the tough girl and then you face girl. And like, if I show up this way, like, oh, what are people going to be like? Wait a second, but you're the badass Karen. Like, what is this different side of you? But I say this with a smile on my face, and there's a lot of shit going down yesterday too. So the timing of me getting the gallery of the photos, and now I have to look through all of them. There's like so many great ones. By the way, shout out to Rachel Pick, who's in Vancouver, and she's fucking amazing. It was a gift to work with her. She was actually out here in Victoria visiting family, so we were able to do a shoot locally for me, which was great. And a great hair and makeup person. It was just beautiful. It's perfect. She's amazing. Appreciate her so much. But to look through these galleries of photos and just be like, man, like, I look really beautiful. And there's still like a lot of strong photos, a lot of that, but it's a combination, right? It's combining all the sides of you and knowing that they're all amazing and they can all work together or they can be separately. So here's your more tip for today. What is the side of you that you feel is inside of you, but yet you're afraid to express that? So again, for me, it was this feminine, softer side. I don't want to show up this way. Girly girl. I'd rather be the ones in the leather pants and the badass, black and big ass heels and boom in your face, right? But is there another way that I can show that, right? What is the other side of you, sister, that's inside of you that you're afraid to express? And I want you to journal about that and see what insights that come up. So before we finish up today, a couple things. Number one, if you do not already subscribe to the Women Wanting More newsletter, you need to go do that right now. Holy shit, there's so many of you that do not subscribe to it yet. You're missing out. You're going to get the More For Action Guide, How to Start Your Day in Power. You're going to get 2 very powerful trainings I've taught inside of a private Facebook group, which is on how to really remember who you are. This is a continuation of what we just talked about today, right? And there's 2 trainings, one on how to drop your stories and how to create new ones. And so I want you to right now head over to drkarenosborne.com/action guide, and I will get you hooked up on all those free gifts, as well as you're going to get VIP access to everything Women Wanting More. So that's number 1. Number 2, make sure to join the sisterhood. Listen, this is for you to be with women who are like you, that want similar things in their marriage, that want to be able to shift their mindset, that want to be able to produce more within business or work, that want to remember who they are, right? To show up as the more powerful female that they are. But it's hard to do this by yourself. You are not alone, sister. So I created the sisterhood exactly for that. And this is a group coaching program that allows you to really get a taste of what it's like to really coach with me, have access to me, but have access to other women around the world and the accountability and the action plan on how to put this all into place. Create your life of more. So head over to drkarenosborne.com/sisterhood and you can sign up for the first 7 days for just $1. And then lastly, I want you to subscribe to the podcast, sister. It's crazy to see the downloads are increasing, anywhere from, I'd say about 2,500 to 5,000 plus. I've had 10,000, 15,000 listens in a day. And it's super exciting. It's a way that I love speaking to you here 5 days a week and to sharing my life with you and to share what I've learned and to give you something to do as this more tip at the end of each episode. But I would really love your help to share this with more women. So number 1, subscribe to the podcast in iTunes or Stitcher, wherever you consume this. And number 2, I want you to share up this episode with a woman that you know that needs to hear this message. And then number 3 of this is leave a review on iTunes. It's so cool to see so many of the reviews that are coming in. There's some hater ones there too. It kind of comes with the territory, and that's okay. Not everyone's going to love the message, but I think we can drown out all that hate with love. And so I would love for you to leave a 5-star review and to help attract other women that are looking at podcasts and wondering if this is the one for them. And just like someone else might have shared the podcast for you, or you found, or you read the reviews, just know you taking a few minutes to do that. Number 1, I so love and appreciate for doing that, sister. Thank you. But it means that your words can impact another woman. That's huge. Just taking a few minutes of your time to do that. So head over to iTunes, subscribe, share up the podcast, and leave a review on iTunes. All right, sister. I'll talk to you in the next episode. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborne.com/newsletter.